All right, so here's the pump. It's a 2-stage high pressure pump. It's a clone of a Davy brand wildland pump. This came off Amazon.com for about $210. It's 7.5 horsepower, and then it's got 2.5 discharges, and then a 2-inch discharge right there that I'm not using. 2-inch inlet. So what I got here is a 2-inch cam lock going into a 2-inch ball valve. This is the tank to the pump right there. And then this is for hydrant fill or draft. So you'd shut off the tank valve, open this, and the water would come in, go into the pump, out the discharge. And this is called the pump to tank. And this is a large 1.5 inch that goes up there to another cam lock. So basically the idea is I can disconnect all this and slide it out, so I can disconnect this plumbing. The pump is hooked in with ratchet straps by design, so I can pull it out. Let's see here. So we got 1.5 inch ball valve and discharge into an 1.5 inch fire hose fitting, and then we got Y. So I got an adapter with a 1-inch forestry hose, and then I have an 1.5 inch forestry hose, and then up here I have 2 3/4 garden hose size fittings. We fight a lot of fire with this 3/4 forestry hose. It's lightweight and pretty handy. So that's the setup. I bet I'm getting 100 PSI at 20 gallons a minute on the 1-inch. I don't have a gauge for it, but that's just what I'm guessing. So basically, I got a milk crate with some parts and hardware. I got a couple hoses thrown in there, and then I got my forestry hose packs, 2 3 1-inch hoses, and then those ones have 2.5 inch forestry hoses each. So that'll get me a decent hose lay to hold the fire. For these smaller horsepower pumps, I recommend a twin tip Forester nozzle, and then put some sort of 3/4 garden hose type nozzle on the other side, and that's pretty standard that I use. And then over here we got an 1.5 inch, and we got a smooth bore straight stream. This nozzle can be had for under 20 bucks actually. It's the model 1510. And if you look up UFS 1510, you'll find it, and that will give you a lot of water at low pressure. And if we do start to lose something back interior there, if we lost anything, we would have been able to knock it down with our 320 some gallons of water pretty quick, and then we could go in and mop it up with our 3/4 hose. So that's kind of, we just designed this to be real similar to what we use in wildland. And this setup here is kind of doing some research and development and testing. I'm going to use this for side-by-side skid, little slip-in skid units for side-by-sides. Not quite like my Rhino here, but the standard nowadays is like the Honda Pioneer or the Polaris Ranger. This is not set up for that, as you can see. It's got, you know, suspension and buggy seats and all that. You can't put much of a water tank back there. So anyway, thanks for watching, and let me know if you have any questions. Like to get some feedback.